All right, well, I'm Shelby Scott St. Clair. I'm live in Justin, Texas, born and raised in North Louisiana up in Shreveport. Not many people know where that's at. Started wheeling 15 years old with a Jeep YJ like pretty much everybody else. Bought a YJ and found mud, quickly realized I didn't like that. So I went away from the mud and kind of got into the trails and trail riding, rock crawling, etc. Got out of it for a few years when I got married the first time, and then got back into it around 2013 and just doing some wreck wheeling stuff. Went to a rock bouncer race and I was hooked, and I built a rock bouncer and raced it 2 seasons and ended up selling it last year after the KO8 shootout last year. Kevin, as part of the Rock Bouncer series that I raced, we're now .1 off-road racing, and I'd raced with that series for 2 years exclusively. And when I sold my bouncer, I started talking to Kevin because I didn't want to get out of the sport. I wanted to stay in. So Kevin brought me in as kind of the social media director. I'm in charge of marketing as well as I'm announcing all of the races. Worked in the pit with him at Nationals at Crossbar, Oklahoma last October. That was my first experience working pit for an Ultra 14. Had a blast doing it, and I told Kevin that weekend, if you're going to Hammers, I'm going with you. And I hopped on a plane and got here yesterday. I've been keeping up with it. You know, they've been sending videos and we've been watching them, and the car got progressively better as the week went on. Today we went out, they made a couple of passes and made one small minor adjustment in the rear of the car, and it totally settled down the car through the whoops. They're no longer getting out of control.
You got 24 positions. Do what?
Not now.
No, not now. It's not right now, but that's what I'm saying. You've got 24 positions on a compression knob.
We start at 12.
We set it at 12 so that we can go either way.
14 now.
We're 6 up from 12, so we're at 18.
Okay.
So at some point in there, you've got to start going back and looking at your lower pressures and which is your spring rate.
Your spring rate.
Yeah.
But that ride, that felt good.
That's better than it's been so far.
Yeah.
You're full of feel.
Yeah. And we know that's going to deteriorate.
And it's going to get a little lighter.
That's right. As it deteriorates, it's going to get lighter.
You don't want to put your sprung on this out of there.
I'm gonna
say make another pass.
Let's make another pass and see if see how you do.
What was your speed coming back?
Huh?
What was your speed coming back this way?
63.
You were uncomfortable at 60, so.
You improved. That's an improvement.
We were at 58 the first 2 passes. We was at 60. I mean, the first few passes we was at 63, almost 64.
Yeah, I'd make another pass. See if you can bump it another mile an hour or 2.
I haven't looked to see what our RPM is, but
it's not screaming.
I'm actually getting into 4th.
Right. Which you're more controlled in 4th. We know that.
Yeah.
Did you steer it less that time or whatnot? Because you look like you stayed right on point.
Do what now?
You look like you stayed right on point coming back through there.
He was holding my hand still. 4th.
4th gear makes a big part in that too.
Yeah.
In 3rd, because of our gearing, it's so torquey.
Yeah.
Just the least little bump, and all of a sudden you're up on a rut out of the groove. It shifts to 4th, and it's settled back down. It also locks the torque converter out in 4th.
It's going to be real interesting to see how a rock bouncer does in an endurance race. It's 190 miles on shocks that aren't designed for Ultra 4 racing and on tires that aren't designed for Ultra 4 racing. So this car is not like anything else you're going to see out there anywhere as far as the Ultra 4 side of things go. So I'm going to be real interested to see how they turn out, and hopefully they can get a finish this weekend. Our strategy really is keep the car in one piece, finish the race. That's the most important thing. I think they would rather start in the back of the pack so they're not, getting ran over by the Pellegrinos and the Campbells and Lauren Healy's and those guys. And it would be a smart tactical move on their side to start in the back of the pack, get comfortable driving the car at speed through the desert course. In the rocks, Kevin's a damn good driver in the rocks, I will say that. But he has a rock bouncer background and a trail riding background. I think that they'll do well. As far as pit strategy goes, we're only planning on fueling one time. This car is getting exceptional fuel mileage, and that could be partly because he doesn't have the big monster motor that most of these other cars have. No, qualifying's coming up, I believe, on Wednesday. We're gonna give the car a good thorough bolt check. We're going to torque everything down. We're probably gonna change some fluids, wipe her down, get her ready for qualifying, and then we'll do the same thing again before the big race on Saturday. But you guys definitely follow Knockout Racing on Facebook, and also follow our Rock Bouncer series, if you don't mind, at Point One Off-Road Racing. We'd appreciate all the follows that we can get on that.
We qualified 65. We kept it really conservative because we want to save the car for the big race, which is tomorrow. We're happy where we are. Hopefully we can probably hit back door first off the bat, get it out of the way, and then just run a real conservative pace to cross across that stage up there Saturday evening.